Hello friends, welcome back. This is Fitness for Gamers and Streamers with Chris here. Hope you're doing well. And today, hopefully a bit more in depth, we're going to talk about beginner gains. So we'll talk about what they are, what happens, how they happen, and why they stop and they go on forever. So quite a lot to cover today. Stick with me. So today, we're going to start by talking about... Okay, my thing's gone funny. There we go. Beginner gains are what happens when you start going to the gym and lifting weights for the first time. So this can happen anytime you start lifting weights for the first time. It doesn't have to be as a teenager. It can be as an adult, an older adult. You'll always go through a period of beginner gains or newbie gains. Basically, this is a period when your body adapts to weight training for the first time, and it rapidly adapts to this new stimulus by building muscle and strength very quickly. So beginner gains generally last about the first year to 2 years, and in that time you'll gain the vast majority of the muscle you're going to gain as a natural lifter, okay? So within 2 years or so, you'll probably, up to 5, you'll build the majority, all the muscle mass you're ever going to build, even if you're lifting for 20 years, 30 years. The first year, 2 years, you'll build the absolute most mass. Within the first 5 years, you'll have almost exhausted your natural limit, and then you'll incremental progress beyond that point. That means you'll put in lots of effort and get smaller amounts of return for it. So that's what beginner gains are, when you start training for the first time and you make really big gains in strength and size very quickly. And how do you make sure you get the best beginner gains? I see people all the time asking, how do I start off properly? They want to get the beginner gains as quickly as possible, do it properly, that's great. But honestly, any stimulus, any hard work you do lifting will help you trigger these beginner gains, okay? Make sure you eat appropriately, that's plenty of protein, enough calories, and you'll get these beginner gains. I see all sorts of teenagers who are asking if they can cut to lose weight. They think they're fat, they're too heavy, mostly because they've been influenced negatively by social media. If you are a beginner teenager lifting weights, you want to have at least maintenance calorie. You shouldn't be trying to lose weight, because when you start training with weights, your body will naturally build muscle, and you'll naturally get stronger, and you will do what's called a recomp or recomposition. So you'll naturally lose fat and gain muscle as you just start exercising properly and training, and your body turns into what it wants to be. So that's one of the big reasons I always tell teenagers to not try to lose weight. Start training, build up good habits, and these will last you for a long time, rather than losing weight on a crash diet, getting really skinny, getting really frail and unwell, wasting this time when you can start building muscle the first time, okay? Now, as I said, these beginner gains do stop after a while, they slow down. That's because your body is naturally holding the amount of muscle it wants to as a natural lifter, okay? So that will slow down. Bear this in mind very clearly, there will be an end to your beginner gains, and it will become harder to gain weight and strength and muscle. So, this is all the time, do not start predicting your future physique, how you're going to look like in 5 years, 10 years time, based purely on your beginner gains, okay? Your newbie gains. Because you can gain perhaps 20 pounds of mass in the first year as a beginner lifter. That's not muscle, that's mass, okay? So that's lean mass, so that's muscle, it's water, all sorts of things like that, but it's not pure muscle. You will not build that much muscle every year for the next 5 years. Okay, made that very clear now. If you gain 20 pounds in the first year, that's great, fantastic, but in 5 years, you will not have built 100 pounds of extra mass, okay? That does not happen for a natural lifter. So it's not going to don't accelerate beyond that point, okay? That's always the fastest you're going to make gains, assuming you're training properly and eating well. So when you see people on TikTok or Instagram who have put on 60 pounds of muscle in the first 2 years of lifting, just for a clue there, that's not a natural thing to do. They're taking all sorts of things, a real cocktail of things, designer steroids, things that aren't yet illegal or are straight up illegal. You will not gain 60 pounds of muscle in the first year or two, okay? That's not going to happen. That's off the table. And you especially won't do it whilst getting incredibly lean like they are as well. It's a massive sign they're taking a route you probably shouldn't be taking. So that's quickly what beginner gains are, how they happen and why they stop. When they stop, you need to start doing more intelligent programming and keep training hard, okay? Most people give up after they get their initial beginner gains. They think this is the best I'm going to look. I don't look like these stars on TikTok or Instagram. I may as well just give up training completely. Like, how many people do you actually know who've been training for a long time? I've been training for 14 years, and I got absolutely roasted the other day on Discord because I showed my physique. Someone said, what do you look like? I've trained for 14 years. And they said, is that it? Do you not train properly? Do you not go to gym very often? Beginner gains have a cutoff point, and also as a natural lifter, you're not going to look like an enhanced lifter, okay? So when beginner gains peter out, you need to focus on getting stronger over time. That's how you know you're building muscle, is if your weights for your lifts are going up for a given number of reps. Say 10 reps. If you can do 10 reps with more weight, you're building muscle, you're improving, okay? You need to get this in for the long game because, like I said, the beginner gains will happen early. You'll get the first lump of muscle mass and you will slowly increase beyond that, okay? Very slowly. I'm 14 years in, I'm building much less than a pound of muscle a month, okay? But I'm still chipping away, still improving. There are still improvements you can make. You can still look better at a given weight, but building more muscle, less fat. Still getting stronger, still fighting a good fight, keep going, okay? So do not get discouraged when your beginner gains peter out. That just means you need to keep training hard. You've done the easy part. Now the actual journey really begins. So stick to it. Get stronger over time. Don't neglect your cardio. That's a big one for me. Make sure you're training well, you're eating well, you're sleeping well. Tick all those boxes and you'll keep making progress with your physique and your strength. And finally, to really reiterate, when you start training, anything will work to a point, okay? So train hard, make sure you hit all your muscle groups. Make sure you hit an upper body push for vertical, for horizontal, upper body pull for vertical, body vertical, push, pull, vertical, horizontal, a hip hinge exercise like a Romanian deadlift or just a straight up deadlift, and a squatting movement for the lower body. It doesn't have to necessarily be a squat, it can be a leg press, it can be a hack squat, but make sure you hit every part of your body to give it a chance to grow. We don't believe this nonsense we learned from the 80s about training your legs to make your upper body bigger. If you get big legs, it will not give you big biceps, believe me, I have tried. If you want to grow a muscle group, you need to train it directly. So there you go, beginner gains. They don't last forever. Make sure you keep training. Don't give up when you get past your beginner gains. That's when the real work starts. Stick with this. It's a lifestyle. It's not meant to be a fad. It's not something you complete. Fitness is something that improves your life and you keep up for your entire life. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.